Man, I had some serious situations that happened to me the past couple of months that changed my reality, and I'm still working on some of them. And also, this video I was working on, of course, the computer crashed, but backups disappeared too for some reason, so I had to write this whole outline over again from scratch using memory. So I probably lost some details, maybe I added a few, I don't know. But this is what's going on right now, why my videos was coming so slow. But it should be picking up now because I'm starting to see the end of this road and things are going to change. So bear with me, and I hope you enjoy this video. Some of you won't, but this is it. As it seemed, this massive chess game we're in is more than halfway to its end game, and they're playing the race card hard. Why is it whenever I talk about race, there's always that one person that gets upset like he making payments? Oh, he's talking about that race stuff again. Well, here's another one. I mean, look around. There's always the top news. How could you not talk about it? Unless, of course, it doesn't affect you. If you can't understand me being a person of color takes it as a direct threat at me when I hear about another unarmed black man was killed by police, the now 64,000 missing black women and nothing said about it on the news, mystery suicides. Knowing people of color are being hunted and politically exterminated, and our only source of support on Black Matters is an organization ran by lesbians who has their own agenda because they can't possibly understand how it feels to be a black man, which weakens the impact of what the movement is essentially for, which is also owned by a white guy. If you can't understand my frustration, then get the hell off my channel. I don't need you. If that movement gets too black, what you think he's gonna do? Look who made pledges to the cause. It's a couple dozen, up to nearly $2 billion, because they just love black folks. This is where average thinkers believe this is a good thing, because they're supporting the cause. Experienced thinkers already know whenever a corporation gives money to anything, it's an investment. And whenever a white-owned corporation invests in a black cause, it's never good for black people in the end. Advanced thinkers believe with that pledge they either have return interest on it or have temporary control over a group that controls black movements, and at the same time to prevent popularity and growth of a real black movement.
It is only appropriate that after 400 years, as prophesied, the tribes of Israel, all 12 of them, you enslaved us, you degraded us, raped our women and our men, stole our history, stole our religion, and now you're trying to steal our lives. But you want us to believe they matter. You can kiss my ass right in the crack.
Mine too. Me too.
So it's only appropriate, y'all, that we go to the source. For all y'all out here who don't know, this is the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan. This is the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan. This is where they were born after they were destroyed. Just for you. Everything you've been seeing, the police, discrimination in housing, a fucked up education, fucked up banking system, fucked up politics, are all tied to the KKK.
But that could be just me. I tend to overthink things sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I'm not trying to make this channel about race. If you look back at my past videos, I always have something about race every now and then, hinting that we are approaching to where we are at now. I like to talk about things relating to events that can and has affected all realities, and things that lead up to what's coming if we stay on this path. And right now, race is center stage. You can't escape it right now because it's affecting all future realities from this point. I'm not trying to promote fear, far from it. If anything, I would say face fear. But what I'm saying is be smart and be prepared for anything, because we're in a unique situation that could turn out to be really good for us or really bad. This year is the year we can start making demands, but we have to work together. So much time and energy has been wasted protesting about police brutality, when we could have been protesting about things that really matter. Of all the things we protest about our own police departments. Local. Something that could be fixed at a local level. Think about that for a minute. The government is slowly encroaching on the entire country's freedom, and we're here protesting about something local. The police. The group of people our tax dollar pays to protect us. The same group of people we're supposed to control controls us. The same group of people that seem to have a problem with people of color. If we could get this race issue out the way, that's when we find the real issue to this country's problem, and it's not Donald Trump. We've fallen so far behind being distracted by the chaos the elites themselves caused that by the time the majority realize and try to do something about it, they will most likely have an unbreakable hold on society at a global scale. So, at the height of police brutality while the whole world is watching, you still have cops killing unarmed black people. What was he thinking? The whole world is watching and this is what you do? The message I get out of this is that certain police have the green light to exterminate at will. So what's that telling the world? You wasting your time with a protest. This is still happening. There will be more. The purge has begun, or rather increased. Black men are being hung all over the country. Which all of them happen to be suicide.
Let him go, dude. Let him go. Let him go. Please, let him go. Please let him go. We're going to as soon as you let him go. I'm going to.
Guys, get the f out of here!
Let him go.
Get your phones out here and go!
Let him
Shake
go.
your head at me
Let him
and
go.
go! Get the f out of here!
Let me tell you something. I like to think I speak for all blacks that no black person will ever commit suicide by hanging themselves from a fucking tree. Not to mention 64 to 75,000 missing black women, most likely for organ harvesting, and not a word about it from Black Lives Matter. See the bullshit? Then you have these shootings in Chicago that always seems to happen on the weekend. Just so you know, black people's not doing all that. Not to mention the recent surge in shootings into crowds in Atlanta all of a sudden. Things like this don't happen around here. These shootings are being orchestrated and instigated.
Oh, they're shooting. They're shooting. No. Yo, they shooting out this bitch, yo. Yo, they fucking shooting out this bitch, yo. Yo, they shooting, yo. They shooting out this bitch. Fucking shootout. It's time for me to go. It's time for me to go.
You wonder why I feel the way I do. Also keep this in mind, Atlanta is becoming the new Hollywood and it's a hot city right now, and there's too much of a certain color in prime real estate areas that needs to be moved somewhere else, so pow pow pow. For decades we peaceful protests about police brutality. What has it changed? Really, what has it really changed? What's the definition of insanity? That right there. Damn a protest, I was never for it, but I'm glad they're doing it. There's only two ways to put an end to police brutality in this country. One, black people need to stop spending their money on their own oppression, which is very difficult for most because of the brainwashing of television, especially in the hood. And second would be violence, which is becoming more and more of a possible reality. Good white people can stop it, but most expect blacks to solve not only the problems they deal with on a daily basis given to them by systematic and economic racism, centuries of psychological abuse with the absence of counseling and treatment, but also solve their own problem with racist white people. If white people really wanted police brutality and protest to end, they could always intervene whenever they witness police brutality, knowing damn well they won't be shot. I've seen a few of those videos where white people did intervene. Funny, I can't find any of them now. Even the ones I posted on Facebook, I can't seem to find either. But what's the worst that can happen to you? You go to jail and maybe a little beat up, only if you get caught, because all they're gonna do is chase you. I'm not suggesting anyone to do this, I'm just saying you will most likely live for standing up, going by recorded history anyway. But secretly I'm sure most of them want to see a live killing of a darker race of people. People used to pay to see snuff films, but in America, we get black ones for free on YouTube and the news. Remember YouTube used to delete these videos? All the ones I showed blacks are still up here, no problem. YouTube ain't shit either, as I always say. More and more people getting their videos deleted for no reason, which is exactly what that December 10th guideline was for, which I pointed out before. But while YouTube pick and choose which videos are allowed, using the excuse that we're bullying, offending, and or harassing, is always wide open when it comes to black public executions. See, this is where the problem comes in for local leaders. More people are aware than they thought. Cops are losing support because the local leaders are afraid the public will tear up the city, so they prosecute cops for murder now. What else can they do? Not to mention the convenience that since this election year, local leaders are doing whatever they can to appease the public to get them votes. If they were already elected, it might be a different outcome, which is why now is the perfect time to turn the tides in our favor. We have to work together. just to show how upset and racist the secret terrorist group and our law enforcement are now that they can be prosecuted for public execution of unarmed black men that they had a sick out or what is termed the blue flu because of one of their own is being prosecuted for his cowardly act. They claim they don't want to risk losing their job or go to jail for doing their job. The truth is their immunity for prosecution for unjust murder is wearing thin. They so worried about losing their jobs or going to jail, while some people worried about losing their lives just for the benefit of existing.
So we do need some kind of immunity. You do need it, just like you need immunity for the police, okay? Whether they like it or not, you need immunity for the police.
Video is so disturbing on many levels because these officers are resigning simply for the fact that they can no longer use excessive force or chokeholds on black people. Now, I do understand it's happening over in France, but here in the States, it's happening as well. In Buffalo, New York, in Minneapolis, in Atlanta, officers are resigning and refusing to do their jobs, all because fellow officers are now being charged and fired for using chokeholds, brutalizing us, and killing innocent black people. Imagine that. You're mad because you can no longer beat us up and get away with it. Wow.
Just tell the truth. You leaving because they took the fun out of freely hunted people of color. What? I'm being prosecuted when I legally have the right to hunt? How dare they? I also can't understand why some black people praying and begging for the same group of people their tax dollars paying to serve and protect them to stop killing them. It's what they love to do. They're not going to stop. They've been doing it their whole existence. But mainly because they have to. It's really about survival. See, this is what's happening here. They're really trying to make this purge a reality, and they just might get it. You have millions of people out of work, people cooped up in their houses far too long, blacks having pent up anger of centuries of abuse, white extremists angry because now it's a risk to hunt black people freely, a petition going around to label the KKK a terrorist group which will soon make it illegal to be their true selves, certain group of people getting jumpy for over-anticipation.
Gun on me! He was here with the car! Call him! I'm telling you, get the license plate! Get the license plate. Get the license plate now. Cause you were never about to hit me with the damn car. You about to hit me with the car? You fucking both of y'all put a gun down on me, okay? Call Richard back up to the police. Call Richard back up here now. I got it. Don't you fucking jump behind me. No, I ain't jumping behind your car. I was driving. You guys were hitting me. Get the fuck back. Do you see that? Do you see that? They both pointed that gun on me. He was trying to hit me with the car when I was going back. You see that? And then when I hit his car, he wanted to jump out the car and put a gun on me. That was crazy. Trump making it real comfortable. Call the police. No, don't go anywhere. Call the police. 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 You about to hit me with the car. These motherfuckers trying to hit me. And then pull a gun out on me. Move out the way. Yeah, I got it.
Compiled with all Confederate monuments of racist images being removed or destroyed, which you know must affect their pride in some fashion, causing them to become more angry. Sidetrack, the removal of these monuments seem like they're trying to clean the country up for some outside visitors. I'll entertain that thought if they remove the image off the side of Stone Mountain. Going back, black people are at the breaking point and it's only a matter of time before all hell breaks loose. This is what the elite wants and they just might get it. What's sad is the police think they are protected by their elite rulers, not realizing that they are being set up too. If a race war happened to pop off, they would become game as well, which would lead to gun confiscation. The police are already starting to realize it's them against us, and us meaning the public of all colors. I just recently watched The Joker. I know the similarities that's happening right now. Everyone is wearing masks and attacking the police like the past riots. People die, the killer lives. I don't understand why police brutality is even an issue. We are so blinded, we are so distracted that we're missing the bigger picture of what we really should be protesting and asking questions about. Like, what's up with Hillary Clinton in these emails? How come the news is not talking about the Catholic Church paying out millions in damages over sex abuse crimes but no arrests? What? The earth changed positions again because the sun is in another spot. Oh, why does Amazon get to say so to police using their facial recognition software? First off, why would Amazon be interested in facial recognition software in the first place? And if they had to ban someone from using it, would mean that it's been used before? Who are these white people wearing all black and what group they belong to? I bet I know where the money's coming from.
Look at the white girl trying to set shit on fire. Look at the white girl trying to burn down the Wendy's. This wasn't us. This wasn't us.
This is not a black woman who's put in Black Lives Matter. I just want you to know that when, right, but y'all doing that for us and we ain't asked you to do that. Listen, don't spray stuff on here when they gonna blame black people for this and black people didn't do it.
How come this is not the same guy? Why are the banks running out of coins? Whether if it's a cause or an effect, this situation can fast track us to digital currency. They claim that because of Corona, people are not cashing their coins in at the kiosks like they used to. Yeah, don't believe everything you hear. There was a time when we didn't have kiosks and the lines at the bank are still long. While we're all stuck in the house, online business is what's most moving money. Soon, most stores may require you to go online or become cashless altogether. Most restaurants are already on board. Now you can order most food online and have it delivered. This will open the door for digital currency. Content creators will be the next internet boom. So many people making big money using the internet. You know it's anybody's game when celebrities competing with local YouTubers. And in order to make money online, you will have to become digital. Low coinage causing a lot of problems for businesses. Some businesses will have you work out a deal to either round up or round down, which will eventually cause any business to go cashless. It may even get to the point that you need an ID to use cash, which combined with clever promoting will cause people to digitize their hard cash and at the same time eliminating the homeless that collect cash to get by unless they have ID. Everyone will be tracked. Speaking of ID, you ever think that the thought of mandatory vaccination is a distraction to ease in mandatory COVID testing? The whole plan is ID 2020. What does ID have to do with vaccination? They continue to keep pumping the fear, then people start getting tested for a simple cough because they are freaked out. And I may have mentioned before that barium in the chemtrails affects the lungs after long-term exposure. How long they been spraying? Nearly 30 years now. Masks will most likely be mandatory to enforce the fear, then mandatory testing for essential employees first, then the rest. It's all about collecting everyone's identity. Remember back in December when I said that the 666 beast in the Bible is your identity? They seem bent on collecting DNA.
We go out into parking lots and everything, everybody gets a test. We find if we did half the testing, with all of that being said, I'm glad we did it. This is the right way to do it. I'm glad we did what we're doing, but we have more tests by far than any country in the world.
But sir, testing is up 37%.
Well, that's good. Because look, if you go back to the news, all of your, even your wonderful competitors, you'll see cases are up. Well, cases are up. Many of those cases shouldn't even be cases. Cases are up because we have the best testing in the world, and we have the most testing. No country has ever done what we've done in terms of testing. We are the envy of the world, they call, and they say the most incredible job anybody's done is our job on testing, because we're going to very shortly be up to 50 million tests. You look at other countries, they don't even do tests. They do tests if somebody walks into the hospital, they're sick. They're really sick. They test them then, or they'll test them in a doctor's office. But they don't go around and have massive areas of testing, and we do. And I'm glad we do, but it really skews the numbers. But it is what it is. Take a look at Europe. Take a look at the numbers in Europe. And by the way, they're having surges.
Are 6,000 in the whole European Union.
They don't test. They don't test like we test.
Is it possible that they don't have the virus as badly as we do?
It's possible that they don't test. That's what's possible. We did a testing program, the likes of which nobody's ever done before.
They're using your DNA to catch criminals on file that's sharing your DNA, meaning your relatives. And once we go cashless, your DNA ID will be linked to your digital account to make sure you are who you say you are and live where you say you live when making transactions in the future, making identity theft very difficult. Can't buy or sell without it. Sound familiar? There's this movie I like. You may have heard of it. Some of you may have seen it. It's called Gattaca. There was no need for ID cards because their DNA was their ID. And with that, they knew all their medical history, and because they were so advanced in technology, they also knew their life expectancy through their DNA. Which today, most people will be denied health insurance because health insurance company that pay for your DNA information through companies like 23andMe will have advanced knowledge. Another reason people looking into designer babies through CRISPR, which a similar version of it was also in the movie. And once they link your DNA to your digital account, they will know the whole essence of your existence in this simulation to the point where they could predict your movements. This is how serious it is. Did you know you now need an ID to get a change of address form from the post office? Which makes absolutely no sense to me. I guess to stop mail fraud or something, but that won't stop a person from getting a form using an ID and giving it to someone else. I don't understand that part. I know it's a sign that they're pushing everyone to have an ID. They're tracking everyone. What the hell is going on in China? China became a straight up police state.
Success and affluence of our motherland and the prosperity and stability of Hong Kong. Cheers!
The purpose of law is to change Hong Kong from rule of law to rule of fear. We do not want to go through the secret police interrogation, go through jail. But I think we have to psychologically prepare for that. We will continue our activity to confront the national security law.
Now they have the bubonic plague going on. Damn. Not only is Wuhan ground zero for the coronavirus, they also behind the biggest gold counterfeit scam. Did you know that? TikTok, a China-owned company, is now accused of spying through their app. They doing too much over there. But pay attention, United States taking notes. Watch for the clues for when it starts to happen over here. Or maybe it already has.
Since I've been on work, six or seven people have died with what I have. All three of my COVID tests are negative. But I have all the symptoms of COVID. But they're calling it an unknown pneumonia. I have bilateral pneumonia. I have it in both my lungs. So they was trying to convince me to go in and to be put on a ventilator. So that they can help me breathe. this new strand of coronavirus is an unknown pneumonia, and you won't test positive for any COVID test that they run.
Will this chick give up more names before her suicide? Now that the cops feel that they have no support, they have to do their killings covertly, which is why we're having all these mysterious suicides. I don't want to talk about race, but it keeps happening so much that I have to talk about it. And being a black man myself, these are issues I have to deal with as well. And I can't understand how some white people lack empathy so much that they can't even, out of curiosity, imagine what it's like to be a black person and say to themselves, how would I feel if that happened to me?
Wendell.
Me!
Hey! Stop! Stop!
It's about suspicious activity, man. Suspicious activity? Where about? They said someone threw that camera. I told them what I was doing.
Oasis Sans right here next to the El Rodeo.
I told them what I was doing. I was waiting for my sister to Western Union me some money. I always go there and get Western Union, and they know me. Hey, you got your ID on you? Yes, I got my ID. What are you guys doing? We're out here investigating some suspicious activity, sir. I'm not doing anything. I've been around cameras, so I ain't been doing nothing. All right. So what were you doing over there at the Walgreens? Waiting for Western Union. Call my sister right now. She's in Florida. You have a cell phone, call her. Don't call who? Like call my sister in Florida. Don't do this. What are you doing? Oh my God! What are you doing? Put your hands behind your back like you told. Put your hands. What are you doing? Oh Jesus! Oh my God! Oh please! Put your hands. Oh my God! Jesus! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Stop! Oh my God! Yeah, he might be broke. Oh Jesus! Oh my God! 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 Oh Jesus! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yeah, hold on, please, sir! Oh God!
You have a dangerous object in your hand and you're failing to put it down. Put it down. You're being detained.
Your hand is on your weapon and you're gonna shoot me?
I couldn't help but notice you just sitting on the patio out there.
What's that?
I couldn't help but notice you sitting on the patio behind this building. Yeah, and there's signs for no trespassing, private property, that kind of thing. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were doing, if you lived here or you worked here. It looks like you're working, doing something, picking stuff up. Okay, gotcha. What's the actual address then?
Arapahoe?
Okay, what unit are you in?
I don't think I have to actually tell you that.
Well, I'm just checking to make sure that you have a right to be here, that's all.
I just told you I lived here.
Okay.
I told you that I'm working as well.
Okay.
Shouldn't that be enough for you?
Well, I gotta verify it just so I know that you do in fact live here.
What do you need from me?
If you have an ID with your address on it, that'd be great. Well, we've had some stuff going on in this area. I'm just doing my job, just making sure you belong here, and if you do, then great, and I'll be on my way. Okay. Do you have anything with your address on it?
Yo, look, man. Here, why don't you follow
just
me
relax.
and I'll just leave the building, dude.
Just chill out, man.
Dude, this is ridiculous.
I'm just asking you if you have something with your address on it, then that would help.
No, I don't. How am I supposed to have something with my address on it?
Well, a lot of people have a driver's license.
They just carry something with their address on it?
Yeah, an ID. Yeah.
Hey, so we were in Walmart and what's this, Wood River? And Wood River, Illinois. This officer right here behind us just followed us in the store. You just video. He said we can't video, but he just told us we're on body cam. He just followed us from outside, told us that we cannot wear masks. There's a presidential order, there's a state order, and he's following us right now to the store. We're being asked to leave for being safe. And this is what we're doing right now. This is the officer following us out of the store for absolutely no reason. If anybody knows, anybody's watching, the coronavirus is real. This guy is following us. There's more people, but he followed us from outside. From outside, he followed us all the way in the freaking store just to follow us out of the store. That's him. We're wearing masks. There he is. We're getting kicked out of Walmart for wearing masks. Hey, so coronavirus is real. This police officer just put us out for wearing masks and trying to stay safe.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, that's up, right?
Because it's easy to pretend what it feels like to be a white person and not be followed around in stores, walk around with a gun without being questioned, talking shit to a cop while getting a ticket, withdraw a large amount of cash from your account without cops being called on you.
I went in the bank, you know. I got 200,000 on my account, and I was in the bank, and they I come out the bank, I see the police. I walk to the car, I see one of them put in my bag like him. So they come bum rush me at the car and put me on the ground, put guns to my head, you know, like. So I'm like, what I do? And then later was like, I was supposed to have 200,000 on me. So I'm like, I'm a millionaire. Like, how can I not have 200,000 on me? They said somebody wrote a bogus check, and they thought I did a bogus check too, but I'm legit. So they confused me with whoever they were looking for. They confused me with them and thought I was doing something bogus. Until they realized, when they checked my account, saying I was worth 1.3 million. And they realized, you know, he's a multi-millionaire, so we gotta let him go. And they apologized to me, but they just took 100,000 of my money. I'm gonna go to the police precinct right now and go get my other 100,000. So I'm gonna get my money from them, and I'm gonna get out the city. I gotta roll.
Being pulled over for driving a nice car, not being shot just for existing, get the elusive low interest rate. You get the idea. I could go on forever. The point is, if we know what you could get away with, you know it too. Privilege is a hard thing to give up, especially if it's the only thing that makes you feel special. And that's sad. You see, the reason I'm so passionate about race issue is because I believe in reincarnation, and if I could help not to return, I don't want to return to something I could have done something to prevent my past life instead of questioning why my ancestors allowed this to happen. Because blaming your ancestors is really blaming yourself. Make a difference now, because everyone is the same color when everyone is poor. I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching, and thank you for sharing your time with me.
This is America. Don't got you slipping up. Look how I'm living up.